I don't know why. Every time I start Daily Fuel, my nose gets itchy. It's like I will spend the entire day not thinking about my nose, and like as soon as I go live, I start getting it gets itchy. Is that an energy thing? I don't know what that is. It's an annoying thing, I'll tell you that much. I feel like I'm constantly doing this the whole damn thing. Anyway, hi. Welcome to Daily Fuel. Welcome to the replay. If you're watching in the replay, then let me know that you're in the replay, right? Hashtag I am in the replay. Or something of that ilk. Make up your own. I like the ones you guys make up. Haven't seen any really funny ones lately. Surprise me today. It's a new week, a new day. Give me a hashtag that's gonna make me, go ha ha ha. That's how I laugh. If you are joining live, then you can comment and say hello. You can comment the whole time I'm doing my spiel. If you're new to Daily Fuel, I've got my thing written out. It's not a script. It's just some notes. And what it kind of looks like this. Except this was last week's, because my today's one is up here, and I just have like things I want to say, and I go through it and I ignore all the comments, and then when I'm finished with this shit, I come over here and I say hi to you people. But first I say hi to everybody. Let's just see who's here live. We got an audience today. So Christina is here. Hey Bobby and fam. Hello Christina. Nice to see you. Hello lovely artists. Hello Crimson. Danielle just says hi. Hi. How you doing? And Kelly gets it right. Hello everyone. Hello Bobby. That's how you do it. That's the correct way. And Kirsten knows because she's been in trouble for this many times. Hello Bobby and the gang. Right? Yeah. I need my own separate greeting from the riffraff. I'm special. And Dagmar's here. Hi. How are you feeling? Hope you're doing well. Silly ass laugh. And Robin's here. Hello everyone, especially Bobby. Hang on one second. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and post this later in the group. Let me just get my chin out of the screen. Let me get myself out of the screen. I can't. How do I get? Hang on. There we go. I'm out of the screenshot. Ready? And boom. Okay, good. I'm gonna have a screenshot with my chin in it. That's everybody wants to see that. And Jesse is here. Hey. I was told that going through the hellos real quick just lets everybody know that I see you and you see me. Holiday in Ontario. Hi Ray. And Haley is here. Hey Bobby and the tribe. See, she's got it. Excuse me. Hello Bobby. That's okay. That's all right. You get one. You get one. You do it wrong twice and you're out. I will boot you like that. No, I'm only kidding. And and look at this person, Cecilia. I made it. Who is this? Who is this weird person in my group? All right, whatever. Let's you guys. I feel like I have inside jokes with everybody, and I don't know if anybody gets any of them except me and that person. I have no idea, but I just say them. You keep showing up, so let's do this, shall we? I think we're at 2 minutes. We're way over 2 minutes. We're at like 4 minutes. Oh, and Danielle made it. Oh, good. My bad. Hi, everyone. What's up, Bobby? Hi, Danielle. Yeah, because Danielle was part of the making of today's. All right, let's get to it, because it's taken way too long to say hello to all you people. Art for change. Art for change. I was thinking of different titles for this one, like the activist artist or the role of the artist, and I landed on this. We have a new member in the group. He joined a couple days ago. His name is Antoine. And this morning, I woke up and I was thinking, Science Week, because over the weekend I was like, I had a couple ideas about different science topics. I thought it might be cool to do like a week of just, like science and art together, or the science and the woo-woo stuff together. And so I said, hey, what are some topics? And there were so many. And I was like, there's no point in doing 1 week on this. I'll just go through this because I had a lot of research to do because I didn't know a lot about all of this stuff. Most of it I know, but not all of it. And so I was like, I want to watch some videos and learn some things. So rather than cramming that into an already busy week, I figured, I can just make this like an ongoing kind of topic thing. And so that's what I'm going to do. And then on top of that, something happened in the group this morning. Not a big thing, but Antoine posted some of his art. And if you haven't had a chance, find him in the group and start looking at some of his stuff. He posts, his paintings are pretty triggering, and they touch upon social topics and social issues that are going to like make you feel something or make you think something. And I saw the first one, and he was doing them one image per post. So I saw the first one, and then I saw another one, and then I saw another one, and I was feeling things, and I was like, wow, a lot of people's art here makes me, I can feel happy, I can feel sad, I can feel this, I can feel that, and but occasionally I feel something that just triggers something, and I don't really know what the hell I'm feeling. And that was the case today. And I was like, what? I was trying to think. I was like, how do I feel about this? Because I couldn't think of the words. And then I saw a comment by Danielle, who I'm glad you're here, because Danielle's comment. What did you write? You wrote that he speaks truth and with trauma. That there's a combination of truth and trauma in his art. And Danielle said, I did some more research on you. I looked at your profile to get some like background information on like what is the meaning behind all of this. And basically Danielle just said that it took her breath away. And I was going to say, wow, Danielle, your comment was like the words that I was looking for, that it was truth and trauma. And that's when the idea struck me of, I realized what his art was for me. And it was a role of an artist that I don't know that I usually play deliberately. It's not one that I've ever thought of consciously, and maybe I have, but it's not like on this level. And so that's the answer to what his role is, or what his role was for me, is going to be number 3 today. As usual, if you're new here, I have 3 things to say, and here they come. All right, so what is the role of the artist, and specifically like the artist who's looking to make change in the world? What was that sound? I don't know. So number 1 is revolution. And I don't mean revolution like war. I mean revolution like just change in general. Revolution like to rise up from the ground up, the grassroots, and create change from the bottom up. I said in my post today that the state, the government, our civic leaders, and I don't mean it as an oppressive sounding thing, but like just the legislators of your town or of your state or your country or wherever the hell you live, they have the ability to legislate and to enforce laws, right? They have the ability to say, hey, that's not a good thing, let's make that illegal, or let's or they can try to promote things, but usually it's through economic incentives, like we'll give everybody $5 if you do this cool thing, but that's the best they can do. It's like they can only legislate. They can only make rules and then make you follow the rules. That's really what the state does, and hopefully they're doing it in a way so that life is great and everybody's happy and we have good roads with pavement and people stop at stop signs, and that's all good stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's it. That's all they can do. The artist, however, has the ability, with the stroke of a brush or the movement of clay or the movement of the body or the hearing of words or sounds or just anything that the artist does, everything that you can create and emote is art. And the artist has the ability to change hearts and minds, right? I mean, politicians are saying that all the time. We have to change hearts and minds. Well, good freaking luck with that, because you're not an artist. We have that power, and we've got the monopoly on it, okay? So let's remember that and use it. And now I don't mean that you have to like figure out some evil in the world and be like, I'm going to make art that's going to fix that. Because a lot of times the revolution idea, the revolutionary artist, the artist for activist change, can get mired in resistance. And for me, the problem with resistance is what you resist persists, right? It's like when you're resisting something, like I'm against this and I'm against that, well, you're really just throwing energy at it. It gets bigger and it never goes away. And that's why we continually have the same social issues century after century after century, that one generation after the next just says, here, it's your turn to mess around with this bullshit. I don't know, we couldn't fix it. maybe you can. And the answer is not resistance. The answer is revolution. It's changing hearts and minds from the ground up, and we artists have the ability to do that. And really, I think number two is even more powerful. It's not even just revolution for the change for the sake of change, but it's uplift. We, unlike the state or civic leaders or anybody that legislates things, oh, killing people's bad, let's make it against the law, you go to jail if you do that. Now nobody will ever do that again. Right? Well, clearly that doesn't solve the problem. People still do that. But how do you uplift? And art has the ability, we artists have the ability to sort of pull an emotion out of people, to make them feel something, to show them something, and to get them to remember their humanity in a way that we don't always remember when we're going to the store and we're in traffic and we're late for work and right, we forget this stuff until all of a sudden you see that thing or you hear that song or you know, whatever, see, hear, right, and you remember and you feel it, and we have the ability to put into our work the intention of uplift, not just revolution, not just change, which revolution is great and change is great, but also with the intention to uplift. And that's number two, just sending out that positive energy to propel this human adventure that we are on. And then there's number three, and number three is what Antoine was for me today. I don't know if this is his intention. I don't know Antoine. We haven't had any interaction really. He only joined the group a couple days ago. So it's a little unusual for me to call out somebody who just, hey, I'm here. And I'm like, I'm doing a daily fuel on you. What? It's like, okay. But it happened. And, you know, Danielle wrote that comment, and somebody else who was equally new wrote another comment on one of Antoine's posts, and he just wrote pure junk. And I was immediately like, that's bullshit. You're not allowed to do that here. This is the safe space group, you know, except that it was interesting because I realized what Antoine was for me, he was also for that guy, who, by the way, I booted out of the group and deleted his comment because you're not allowed to do that here. But number three is the mirror. What Antoine did for me with his art was he showed me, he didn't tell me how to feel. He didn't make something with maybe his intention was to evoke an emotion and to do uplift or to do revolution. I don't know what his intention was. I don't know Antoine. I don't even know if he's here because I'm not really looking at the comments. Antoine, if you're here, right, you can comment either live or in the replay what your intention was if you would like to, or not. You don't have to. But for me, he was a mirror. He wasn't telling, his art wasn't telling me how to feel. His art was showing me how I already feel about the subjects of each of his pieces. His pieces were about violence to black people, slavery, climate change, social issues that are very poignant and prevalent in today's society and today's politics. And he wasn't even really like none of his pieces seemed to be against these people or against this. It was just like, oh, hey, here's a thing. It's a thing. Don't forget that it's a thing. You know, it's a thing, and we think about it, and sometimes we don't think about it, and sometimes we really need to think about it. And you think something about it, and here it is. What do you feel about that? And you couldn't help but look at it and feel the thing you feel about that piece. Or, well, I'm not going to speak for you. I couldn't help but look at each of these pieces and feel the thing I feel about each piece. I felt anger. I felt sadness. I felt bitterness. I felt like, oh, we have to fix that, right? And I realized that most likely the person who wrote the derogatory comment, he wrote pure junk. That's all he wrote, 2 words. And that's the guy's been in the group for like 2 days, the commenter, and that's the first and only time he ever commented or posted or did anything. He wrote 2 words, pure junk. And I booted him. So, because I have power. I have the power of the state. But I don't have the power to change his mind. So, anyway, I just feel like sometimes I'm not saying that being the mirror is the be all and end all, and I don't even know that that was Antoine's intention. But I think that sometimes, and I have never really thought of it this way, because a lot of times in my art, with the stories that I'm writing for my cyberpunk series and the music that I write, especially, I feel like I'm always trying to express what I feel and get my audience in my camp. Or at least I'm talking to people who are already in my camp so we can all go, yeah, that, right? But his thing didn't do that. And I don't know that I've ever considered making something with the intention of just being like, here's a thing, you feel a certain way about it, and now I'm making you feel it. And I don't know what it is. You might be like, wow, that's amazing. Or you might be like, this is junk and I don't want to know this because I disagree with this whole thing, or I don't like it, or this is dumb, or whatever, you know? But once again, we have the ability to do that because we have superpowers, and that's what art is for us. So, wow, that's a lot of comments. I'm going to wrap up this spiel here and go back to the comments and see what you people have to say about this. Jesse. Oh, excuse. Oh, I saw that one. It's Cecilia. Yep. My bad. Hi, everyone. What's up? All right. Okay, good. We love. Ooh, oh, Rev. Sometimes I'm so dense. I'm just like revolution. I like that revolution with the love in it. I've seen like that on walls and stuff. It's cool. We are all you people. Yeah, you're all you people. Yes. Truth and trauma. That's what it was, right? Your words were very good, Danielle. It also it was funny to me that it was you that said that, because the last time I felt this way and remembered it, it didn't spark this whole thing about the mirror, but the last time was months ago when I don't even recall the entirety of the it was something to do with your son and the piece that you made or that he made, and it was about racial justice, and that really sparked something in me that I spoke about in Daily Fuel that day. So then here it was happening again, and you were in the conversation again, and I was like, wow, Danielle, you're like my you're a mirror for me too, Danielle. So is what I wanted to say. Hi, folks. Hi, Bobby. Fashionably late. That's cool. How are you? Nice to see you. And Kelly is here. Hi. The artist creates change in the heart, and the heart has the most power of anything else. That's true. You know, we use our brains for our five senses, but we use our heart for our all senses, right? Our spiritual senses. And so you're absolutely right. And that's just it, is that the state, the powers that be, can only make rules and laws that govern in the realm of the brain. That's it. That's all they can do, you know? But we create art. We don't make laws. We don't make rules. We don't tell people what to do. We show them what they want to do. We remind them who they are, because when they know who they are, they go, yeah, why are we doing this? This is stupid. You don't have to make laws against this. If we were all in our hearts, we would never do this stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Good, Kelly. Thank you. The art of shapeshifter, the raven. A symbol of death and renewal and change. An artist has to send out a raven and bring peace with a dove. Bring hope through trauma. And there are many times that art awes me. Love, love, love Banksy for that very reason. That's interesting, the shapeshifter. So it starts as a raven and then brings peace as a dove. That's really cool. I like that whole... I like the visuals to that. That's interesting. Bringing hope through trauma. Well, that's it. You know, I think that that this is what this is making me think. That we don't ignore the trauma of the human adventure. We don't ignore the dark shadows and just pretend like, oh, everything is light. It's like we you can, and you can have days like that, and sometimes your art may be all like that. But even if your art is, I think that the heart needs to realize that there's like I'm giving you the icing to put on your cake, but I know that you don't have cake every day. And I think that it's important, no matter what your art is, that your heart knows that and realizes that our job is to uplift or mirror or both, and that brings about the revolution that we want. Because I don't think revolution for the sake of revolution is all that powerful. Because when you're just telling people what to do, or like, we have to fix this, it can very quickly go into resistance, as I said before, and that perpetuates the problem. Whereas upliftment can seem like it's airy-fairy, but it doesn't have to be, and certainly the mirror one probably isn't at all. So there's that. Dagmar says, in my art, there are messages, layers of symbolism. I put intentions of love, joy in it, also the healing of trauma. I feel like a hardest healer. Nice. When we heal ourselves, share, help each other heal, it heals the world. Yeah, that's exactly it too, is that the nice thing about art, you know what, this is really great, because here's what you just made me realize. When the state, the legislators, the president, the whoever the heck, right? The king has to, it has to be for the brain, and it has to be very direct. Thou shalt not do this stupid thing anymore. That's the new rule, and if you do, you get fined, or you go to jail, or you do this, right? So there's you can't do this, and if you do it, you get the penalty, right? And that's it. Or we want you to do this thing, and if you do, we'll give you some money. And basically, those are the ways that the state works. But we as the artists, you said it right here, the intention. We put intention into things. You can't put intention into rules. Well, Congress intended that you were going to do this. Well, it didn't say that, so, bleh, right? But nobody can do that to art, because the intention of the art comes through and is felt by the viewer or the listener or the receiver, whether they want it or not. It's just it's there. It's the energy of it. The energy of the intention is always in the art. If you think about it, we can still feel the intention of art from days gone by. The art still lives, even if the artists have left us. Michelangelo's David as an example, right? You can look at that and see and feel the intention of the work that went into that. My favorite is Van Gogh, and you can feel the intention that man put into his work, even though he's not here anymore. And in that way, it makes them immortal, So that's pretty amazing, because the energy is they are immortal. Obviously, they are spiritual beings. They had their human adventure, and now maybe they're having another one. Maybe they're here. Who the heck knows? Maybe I'm one of them. I don't know, but I am. But anyway, Haley says triggers are necessary. It's energy work for refining. Yeah, you can't make a thing happen, or it's not even about making a thing happen, right? You can't. What's the word? Facilitate a change if there is no trigger, right? You can't have a chemical reaction without the catalyst, and we are the catalyst. Hey, look who's here. Marjorie's here. Hi, nice to see you on Daily Fuel. Legislators have the power to change the physical world. I like where you're going with this. It's unless you change gears, and then I don't like it, but we'll see. So far, I like it. It's up to artists to awaken the soul of others and create a shift in the values that we have. When we change values, we evolve at more than a physical level. We evolve at a spiritual level, and our descendants are better for it. Art is the wise man planting the tree, knowing he will never sit beneath its branches. Branches. Yes, absolutely. And thank you for using punctuation. That makes it really helpful for me to read your your comments when they're more than a few words long. Marjorie, that's absolutely right. Legislators have the power to change the physical world. We are changing the spiritual world. And as we know full well, the physical world is just a temporary manifestation of the spiritual world. If you want to change the physical world, you don't change the physical world. I'm going to use the word mirror again, but I don't mean it in the same way that I've been talking about it this whole time. And I've used this analogy before. If you look in the mirror and you see a spot on your nose, trying to change the physical world is like seeing that spot on your nose in the mirror and then rubbing the mirror and being like, why won't that spot go away? It's still right there on my nose. It's because it's on your freaking nose. It's not on the mirror, right? You understood that. So we are the spiritual part. What we're seeing reflected in the mirror is the physical world. This is a different mirror analogy than the whole thing I said this whole time. It's unfortunate that I've used two mirror analogies in the same live, but I think you guys are smart enough to follow me. So good, Marjorie. Thank you very much for that. I need a drink of water, guys. Hang on a second. Good. Yes! Hi, Crimson. Art brings awareness and causes emotion in us. It's important for bringing issues to our hearts and mind and is so important for change. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. That's that itch again. That's it exactly. And by the way, the live will end and I'll go off on my merry way and my nose won't itch for the rest of the day. It's only when I'm doing this. I don't understand it and it's very annoying. Yes, art brings awareness and causes emotion in us. Yeah, it does. It can cause emotion and it can reflect emotion and it can stir up emotion. And I think that a lot of times, the point that I was trying to make today with Antoine and that mirror analogy is that it reflects the emotion back at you that's already there, that sometimes we don't think about, that sometimes we're pushing down. You know, art is like, maybe in that way, maybe what Antoine's art was for me was some shadow work. You know, it's like, there's that thing in my head and I don't want to think about it because thinking about it's not fun and it's dark and I don't like that crap. And but all of a sudden I'm looking at this thing and it's like a bright light in my basement in the dark corner where I keep that stuff, and I'm just like, I gotta look at it. And when you look at it, you feel it. And that's what it was. But when you feel it, that's when what you have to do so that it's so important for change, because that's what facilitates changing. Good. You guys get this. Kirsten, high vibrational art. Made with love. I can literally feel the energy move from my arms to my hands to the brush. It has to be the act of transferring energy, right? Of course it is. Yeah, and it doesn't even start in your arms. It starts in your heart to your arms to your hands to your brush to the canvas to the thing, right? And to the viewer, you know. So, and it never stops. It keeps emoting from the finished piece long after you finish that piece. It starts here. And where does here come from? Here comes from here, right? Where we really are. This isn't real. We're not just these things. We're this, you know? This is one of the visual ones. You got to be watching. If you're not watching and you're only listening, Haley, then you're not knowing what I'm talking about. Danielle. Yeah, I wasn't at all happy with that junk comment. Yep. I knew I had to protect Antoine's work once I did my research. Well, thank you, because you saw it before I did, and you jumped in and you helped to salvage it, because, you know, Antoine is brand new in the group, and he's posting his art, and the first comment that he gets is pure junk. Nuh-uh, not in my group. But you saw it before I did, and you just stepped in to help fix it. So for that, I thank you. Sincerely, thank you. I really appreciate that. You guys can all do that. You know, you don't have to leave it to me. If anybody, you guys know the energy here, you know? And we don't, and Antoine handled it perfectly. He just wrote, well, that's your opinion. That's okay. You're allowed to have it. And didn't engage. And I really love you guys for that too, because this wasn't the first person to write a derogatory comment on somebody's art. And never has it turned, it never turns into a fight, you know? And for that, I'm grateful. Kirsten, shadow work art. I feel, Did I skip? No. I feel like those pieces are the ones that seem to be so strong and evoking emotion. Yeah, of course. Whether it's a painting, a poem, a song, it can make our blood boil. We feel such pain with the artist. Yeah, why is that? Here's what I think. You know, when you see something, if I saw Bob Ross's paintings once, I doubt I remember them, you know? But he was around and he was a staple in my life and perhaps in yours. And it was enough that his positive energy, his positiveness, and the way that he went about creating art and sharing his just joy was so palpable and strong that over time, it's just in my head. It's just right there. The difference between his work, Bob Ross's work, and Antoine's work is that I only needed to see Antoine's work once, because Bob's work didn't like show me a mirror to make me realize this is a thing I don't usually look at. This is a thing that I pretend isn't there. This is a thing that I think about with my brain, and, you know, I'll vote on it, or I'll do this, or I'll do that, but I don't really feel it enough. And it's clear to me now that I don't, because this art is pointing right at me, making me realize, oh, I don't feel this enough. I don't think about this to the point enough that I have healed from it, or that I am helping to heal from it. Do you know what I'm saying? So you only need to see the dark stuff once to feel it. And it's like, oh, and you'll remember that. The light stuff is amazing, and it's always good, because sometimes when you're in a funk or you're in a bad place, that's the stuff you need to get out of it. So there's clearly a place for that. I'm not saying, why is everybody making happy art? We should be making depressing art. No, absolutely not. There's whatever your art is, it's coming from your heart, and as Dagmar said, it's coming from your intention, then it's right. You know, that's your job in this. His job was to show this to me and make me go, hey, dude, you aren't feeling this enough. And I went, fuck. Okay, that's it. I'm not, you know? And I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what the answer is. Bobby, are that guy who can see the glitches in the... Bobby is that guy who can see the glitches in the Matrix and have the power to remove... I think I know what you're saying. Are you saying that I'm that guy, or that this art helps us to see it? You know, I'm gonna comment on it as the art for a second, because I feel like I like where you went with the glitches in the Matrix, right? I feel like maybe seeing Antoine's art today made me see the glitches in the Matrix. That the Matrix that I build for myself, I know these things are there. It wasn't like, oh, racial justice and climate change. I have never heard of these things. You know, it wasn't like that. It was almost like it was making me see it and you know what it was too, is that his art was almost playful. There was a juxtaposition of his drawing and painting style and the topics, and he's got words in it, and it was just jarring. You know, and to me it was and I mean these all with love. I mean these all as good things. It's just like, if that's your style, if that's your thing, if that's your groove, if that's when you're in the pocket and you're creating that, man, there's some powerful stuff right there. And that can't be everybody's job. We can't all make that. You know, we all have our place to make stuff. Has to be entertaining, stuff has to be uplifting, stuff has to be depressing, stuff has to be scary, stuff has to, right? It has to run the gamut. We can't all be ice cream makers making Rocky Road. That's boring. Sometimes I like mint chocolate chip. In fact, all the time I like mint chocolate chip. I never eat Rocky Road. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't even eat ice cream anymore. But you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I feel like his getting back on point with Haley's thing. I feel like his art showed me the glitches in my Matrix. How about that? Wow. This is all right? What? You can't think of anything? Are your fingers in pain today? What's going on? Wow, that reminds me of some poetry I wrote in response to some events that really stirred Robin, I'm gonna meet you one day, and I'm gonna give you the biggest hug because you're just you. I just love you, Kelly. The universe uses us as mirrors. Some are broken, smeared with violent handprints and filth, and some are glowingly clear and beautiful reflections. Heidi-ho, neighbor. Ponds are mirrors, some clean and in harmony within itself. Some need to be raked right out from the depths. People that mirror our ugly are really just showing us where we need to look inside. Yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling today. You know what? That's not always fun either. It's especially when you weren't expecting it. You know, it's good, but it's not always fun. Where am I still holding judgments inside of me? What things do I believe that are junk that to someone else has great meaning? Not just art, but in all of life. Yeah, you got it, Kelly. That's it exactly. And then here's another one. Yes, the answer is talking about it from the heart, and thank God for the art as a way into the conversations that so desperately need to be had and healed. With beautiful compassion and the ability to own the darkness, or as Danielle so eloquently worded, the truth and the trauma. Yeah, that's it exactly. Oh, you guys get this. See, that's why I like Daily Fuel and this group, because I'm not talking to people going, what? You know, it's like we're all here together. Change one hug at a time. See, that's it too, Ray. It's like you with the hugs. It's like that's not my style, but you have a place here, and it's your place, you know. And if everybody here was just writing hugs all the time, then it'd be like, what are we doing, you know? But it's your place, and it makes so much sense from you, and it's wonderful because it's like that spot needs to be filled, and you filled it. Yes. Who is that? I'm teasing. Let me see. Who wrote that? Is that Mikey? Mikey T, what's up? How are you? Are you still in Paris? How are you doing? Nice to see you on... I'm pretty sure you hit the ACAM link once before, but I'll tag you with it again if you don't mind. Occasionally, things change, privacy settings go away, and you need to do it again. It's a one-time thing, theoretically, but, you know, what are you going to do? Danielle says, Antoine... Oh, now I can see your family. Look at that. Oh, that's nice. What are you holding there? What, you win an award? What is that? That's nice. Antoine made me feel everything my ancestors and elders went through. Yeah, it's hard to face it. We're still going through so much. And yes, I thought about my earlier work with my son and the flags. That's what it was. It was the flags. I was raised here in the South, and I live in Greenville, South Carolina, the home of Jesse Jackson. I remember that piece, and I remember that day. And, yeah, and I'm sure that what you felt was very different from what I felt, you know, except that we both felt something, and it was jarring, and it was powerful, right? Robin, when I reread what I wrote, I was trying to express what the people in the horrific event must have been feeling. I felt as terrified as they must have themselves as well, and it was to get the emotions of my seeing that those events actually happened out. If I can locate them, maybe I can post. I was angered at the events and had to get my feelings out. I wanted the powers that be to be able to prevent such events. What did you write? Your other comment? Wow, that reminds me of some poetry. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the context already. All right, so Robin said, that reminds me of some poetry I wrote in response to some events that really stirred her, that got her going. That when she reread what you wrote, when you reread your poetry, and then this. Okay, now that makes sense. I'm with you. We really have the power to do all of this. Art is I am. Yeah, Mikey. Our art is us. It's who we are. You know, legislation and laws and all that stuff is not who we are at all. It's a way to try to control who we are, and it's not possible to do that because everything stems from here, not from here. This is the reaction. This is the beginning. But you can't legislate heart. But my realization that it probably wouldn't be possible gave me such a feeling of despair that you had to write, and that's what prompted the poetry. I get it all now. Okay, very good. And there is number 4, art for change. The 4: revolution, uplift, mirror, self-healing. Robin saw something, felt depressed and helpless, and was able to uplift herself by writing poetry about it. Alyssa did that today. Alyssa, if you're here, she wrote a poetry about her lupus today. She wrote a poem about her lupus today and posted it in the group. You know, she's going through something that most of us probably have never gone through and don't even understand from firsthand experience. You know, we can mentally understand it, but we're not going through it, you know? But she's able to uplift herself with her art, with her jewelry making, and with her poetry and her painting. It's amazing, you know, that we have the power to heal ourselves. Everybody does, by the way, but we use art to do it, and not everybody can do it with art because they can't draw. They suck. Soul is the art of being real. Is this Mikey again? Who is this? Not soul is the Mikey. Soul is the art of being real, not temporary, my friend. I wreck. Subtle world is the father, visible is mother. Both of them are real and not temporary at all. Just complementary, aren't they? What did I say was temporary? Darn it, I know what you're talking about. I remember I said that. The physical world? Darn it, I don't remember what I said. I'm sorry. Okay, the subtle is the father, visible is the mother. Both of them are real and not temporary at all. Darn it, I don't remember. I really got to pay attention to these lives when I'm speaking. The words just come out of my mouth, and then I don't remember what I said. I'm sorry, Mikey, but you know what? Let's just say that you're right. You're probably right. Linda's here. Hi, how are you? I realize how I'm still hiding my words hostage for fear of exposure. Thanks for the reminder that we are all channels and we have to get the limiting beliefs and fears of our egos out of the way so that we can share the full expression of the divine that flows through all of us when we are open to receiving. And then our opportunity is to share it, not hoard it. Poor punctuation, but you get the gist. Yeah, I know how to read, Linda. You don't have to worry about that. I know you. You're first of all, you're welcome. Second of all, thanks for being here and sharing this, because sharing this thought is what I call courage. You know, the fear to express, but then realizing I'm going to do it anyway. You know, is that, and you have that. Even if you can't use punctuation correctly, but that's okay. Linda and I go back, so she's a dear friend, and I love her, and she knows that. But thank you, Linda. Dagmar says, comforting frequencies, healing frequencies, colors, music tones, resonating with, etc. Heart chakra, opening up shadows, personal and collective, is a powerful way to be the change that we want to see, feel in the world. It's freeing, unveiling. So this to me is going back to your intention comment earlier, that these are your intentions to create comforting frequencies and healing frequencies, and you let that flow through your art. And I have an itch on my back now. I'm just itchy. Resonant. I'm surprised nobody's made a comment about what the itchiness means yet. We're definitely deep into this live now. Oh, opening up shadows. Yeah. I know what you're saying. There's more. Waking up stories. As artists, we can tell tales that wake people's hearts up. There you go. You hit right on it. We can wake up people's hearts. That's it. That's it. It doesn't. You want to do it through revolution. You want to do it through uplift. You want to do it through mirrors. We are waking up people's hearts, and you start with your own heart. And that's what art is about. It has to be from your heart. You have to wake up your own heart and let out whatever comes out. It's not that I'm going to make something that's uplifting or revolution or whatever. Yeah, I don't even know that you can create from that vantage point. I don't do daily, like I said this week. Oh, hey, let's do Daily Fuel and make it Science Week. And then Monday morning I wake up and I'm like, nah, that's not what I'm feeling. That wouldn't be coming out of my heart. I don't know why I announced the whole week would be about a thing. That's not how I do it. I wake up in the morning and I go, what am I feeling today? I'm going to talk about that. That's how I do it. That's why it works. So the next time you see me say, it's going to be this all week, it's not. It's just not. Just to go like, because it's not. So yeah, we wake up people's hearts, but we wake up our heart first. Dagmar, you always help me get there just a little bit more. Thank you. Victoria, great Daily Fuel. Gotta bounce. Have a great night, Bobby, and all. There you go. See, that's how you say goodbye. Thanks, Victoria. Crimson. Antoine's art struck a nerve with me. It was a shake up to realize there are some serious issues going on in our world today that I need to pay more attention to myself and how I can use my voice for change. That's what I felt as well. See, the Danielle's piece with the flags months ago made me feel that way, and Antoine's piece today made me feel that way. And then sometimes I don't really know what the answer is because your words here, Crimson, are where I feel like I'm leaning towards until suddenly I don't anymore. And it's like, is it my job to use my voice for change? Because when I say that, I'm not saying what you're saying, okay? I'm not saying that what you said here, Crimson, is wrong. What I'm saying is that those are similar to the words that I feel immediately, except that my persona, I'm like, maybe I'm making the wrong thing. Maybe I should make something that fixes that. And then I go, no, that's not how it works. Because I can't make something that's specifically going to fix an issue, one kind of issue or another kind of issue, because that's not me. I'm not an issue fixer. I've come to that conclusion. You know, I might touch upon issues and I might bring them to the surface once in a while and talk about them, but I'm not the guy with the bullhorn in front of the crowd saying, let's march. That's just not me. You know, that would not be coming from my heart. There's nothing wrong with being that person, but I can't be that person because that would not be authentic. I'd be faking it. You know, that's why I didn't do Science Week, because today I'm really into science stuff, and I was so gung-ho about it, but I should have done it on the day that I said I was going to do it later. I should have just done it that day, you know, but the day will come that I'll be on this topic, and I'll be on this topic, and I want to talk about string theory, and I want to talk about the Schumann resonance, and but not today, because today it was this. So, yeah, I don't know if I said that correctly to your comment, but yes. Resonating art, it either resonates or it doesn't. And yes, it's all about the perfect universal timing to the audience that causes the resonation. Is that a question? If it's a question, the answer is yeah. But I think the art resonates, and I think the timing is going to come from the audience side, you know, going back to Van Gogh or Michelangelo. Clearly, they didn't create something at a time that I was ever going to see it. I'm seeing their work decades or centuries later, you know. So, you know, there's that, but it's universal timing for me, you know. But I don't know that they could have planned that, you know. When people make their art, are they thinking about who's going to be viewing this centuries from now and what they're going to get from it? I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't. You know, I'm thinking about, for me, the creation of the art that I make is the moment, is like, what, this is the moment that I'm doing it because I'm feeling it now, and now is now. And if you're watching this video, I don't know when you're watching this video, you know, the like, as I'm speaking, the people watching it are watching it live. But, you know, if chances are most people who are watching this video didn't see it live, and you're watching it the next day, a month later, maybe it's the year 34,016 and you're watching it then. Could you imagine it's like the year 34,016? That person would flip out, right? That would be amazing. They're not gonna have video on 34. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know what universal timing is for art. I think it goes to the viewer, to the listener, to the receiver. I'm late, but hey, everyone, especially Bobby, you're allowed to be late when you greet us that way. That's allowed. Thank you. Hi, Donna. Haley says, my grammar and punctuation, it's because my phone is airborne. Airborne? What are you... Halfway down the garden as we speak. That's okay. Here's the deal. First of all, I know not everybody... well, not you. You're from England, so you speak English. But not everybody speaks English perfectly. And, and I'm from New York, so we speak English the way we speak English. But, so it's the grammar stuff, and everybody's typing on their phones or their computers, and you're going fast because I talk fast. So if I don't know what you're trying to say, I'll just make up what I think you're trying to say, and I'll answer that. So it's fun. Yes. Yes. Oh, wow, where are we? Yes. It's Mikey. Yes. I don't know what you're saying yes to. I probably asked you a question an hour ago, and the answer is yes, and that's good. I wish it was an award. Oh, your picture. I said, what is that, an award? I wish it was an award. My family took me to a place called Breakout Rooms for my birthday last year. They locked us in a room, and we had to try and solve the puzzles and get clues to break out. Oh, breakout. Yeah, that says it right there on the wall. Clearly, I should have known all of that from that word on the wall. I've never gone to one of those. I always wanted to. I think my family did, but I wasn't there that day. I always think I would be amazing at them, but then I'm nervous to go because it's like, what if I'm not? Ha 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 ha. Mikey's laughing. Kelly, I love what Linda said about holding our expression hostage, especially expressions that have this jarring effect, an extreme emotional pattern interrupt. Holding ourselves back in the name of not wanting to offend or to not feed the resistance, it's still lowering our vibration as we disconnect or disengage from our own emotions and desires to express. Yeah, this fear of offending people, I feel like that's not the job of the artist, is to worry about who's going to be offended by this. I feel like as artists, we can all draw a line in the sand. You don't have to be an activist. You don't have to put all your political beliefs on your Facebook profile. You don't have to do any of that stuff. But if you're sitting there feeling like, I want to create this and this is coming from my heart, but I'm worried that some unknown person in the world is going to be offended by it, well, screw that crap, because that's holding it in. And art is our superpower, but it's also, this is our kryptonite. See, a lot of people who are not artists and who don't let it flow out of their heart constantly, they remember this, right? They live their lives on this thing. We live our lives like this, And so when we're up here, that's when it's coming out of our hearts. It's just like, wow. It's like, there it is, right? But when we're holding it in, it goes way down, and it feels really bad. And that's stress. We can't do that. So what's worse? Offending somebody who I don't like that. Well, all right, I'm sorry that you don't like it, but I don't give a shit, right? What's worse, that or giving yourself stress and disease and things we don't like? The answer is the second one. Linda is smiling at me and giving me a heart. Thank you, Linda. And Dagmar. Donna says, Dagmar, oh, perfect, yes. I don't know what Dagmar said. Probably something smart, because I said it was smart before. Ray says, my dear husband used to say when one of us had an itchy nose. Finally. It's been like an hour and a half. 54 minutes. And finally somebody mentions the itchy nose. Thank you, Ray. I know you love me. My dear husband used to say when one of us had an itchy nose that the itchy nose was horny. I don't need an itchy nose to tell me that. I think Bobby has fleas again, this time in his nose. Maybe. Marjorie, it's okay to use our voices for change, but it's not... I'm sorry, Marjorie. Okay. Serious. It's okay to use our voices for change, but it's not an absolute necessity. Absolutely. Absolutely. Change doesn't have to be huge. Concerned with global warming? Stop buying plastic. You're absolutely right. It's not huge, but if enough people do it, it's a huge difference. Art changes people one person at a time. If they talk to each other, the change expands. Thank you for that comment, because just going back to my Bob Ross comment from, an hour ago, there was a space for Bob Ross in the world, just as there's a space for Ray with the hugs posts. Those are important, and while they may not be jarring or they may not be shining a light in my darkest corners, they're important, and they're even if the upliftment is big or little, it doesn't matter. Any amount, that kind of an upliftment is uplift, right? So thank you, Marjorie, for pointing that out. Crimson, Bobby, I think you're using your voice for change. You're bringing awareness to topics. Thank you. You're causing emotions in us. You're just using a different medium. Absolutely. Thank you. I am, but again, it's coming from my heart, which is why I couldn't do a science thing today when this happened, because I was like, this is way more coming from my heart than the science thing that I was planning to talk about. So I'll do the science thing when I wake up going, the science thing is what's coming out of me today. Marjorie, I'm loving your comments. Me too, Marjorie. Show up anytime. You're always welcome on Daily Fuel. Everybody is, but Marjorie, your comments were really good today. Thank you. I create change through my art by just expressing the changes that happen within me. I am voicing my expanding awareness and emotion, the good and bad, and that's the best way for me. Talking about the change of values you mentioned happening at an internal level. That's really it. And that's what I think the point is that it's got to come from your heart, because you're creating the change within yourself. And then whatever comes out is going to be the universal timing for each viewer is going to be, I don't like this, because that creates some kind of jarring, or this makes me feel a certain way, and that creates that for that person, or wow, that's cool. I like that, and I just go about my day feeling happy. And the same piece could have all of those different reactions from different people at different times, but it won't have any of those things if it didn't come from the intention, as Dagmar said, from the heart, from the first place, or as Kirsten felt it, from her heart to her arms, to her hands, to her brush, to her canvas. It's got to flow, and the flow starts here. Will the comments ever end? I made my comment at least 5 minutes ago, resonated at the time with you and your comment. Yeah, I know. By the time I get to them, I don't know what anyone's talking about anymore. Jet lag. Marjorie says, that to me is the right way to do it. We can't make changes for others. All we can do is share what we've learned and hope others can learn from it too. Perfect. Perfectly said. I won't even add to that because you said it. Ripples across the pond. The penny drops here. Might take a while to get to New York, but it won't be late. It's amazing to me that we can all be here. Look, Haley, you're in the UK. Donna is in Australia. It's not even the same day where she is. You're giggling. Have you checked the children? My children are big now. I don't have to check them. But I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's time to go make dinner, actually. My wife went to get my daughter, and my son's upstairs. I think when it comes from our hearts, it is authentic from our hearts. It always is, Robin. You're absolutely right. And that's the perfect way to end this one. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me again. This is I've said this, but this is my favorite part of the day. I look forward to this all day long. And just thank you. Thank you for making this group amazing. Thank you for stepping in and pointing things out to me. Thank you for being the mirror to help me be better. And thank you all for pulling from your own hearts and sharing with each other so that we are creating all of that. Just think of the change that we're creating in each other here, and then how that change ripples out into the world because we don't live in this group. We go out into the world and we do stuff. Large boobs. Yeah, it's booby time. Who's got the booby prize? Well, Donna does right now. And now Marjorie has the booby prize. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Marjorie, if you don't know, the booby prize goes to the last commenter, but then everybody fights about it. It becomes very... We have this entire discussion about amazing things where we're changing the world, and then at the end it devolves into a bunch of things about boobies. See? See what I mean? See what I got to put up with? You know what? I'm closing this group. You people are ridiculous. Oh, look at this. Melinda just shows up at the end for the booby prize. You know what? You get it. That's funny. You no commenting the whole time and you show up at the end. Yes. Excellent. Hi, Melinda. Bye.